Hi, I'm David Charlton, and this is Demystifying Mental Toughness Podcast. 5 minutes for a series of 10 episodes on a Tuesday for those interested in football or soccer and who want to play their best more often. Hi there, so this episode is the last of our 10-part series. But the good news is, I will be back with another series in the new year. I've had a lot of encouraging messages and emails, which has made me decide that yes, this is the way to go. So a big thank you to anyone who's taken their time to get in touch. And moving forward, if you've got any questions or any things that you would like to know about, and for me to explain how a sports psychologist might go on to help you, please do get in touch. And I'll try and put an episode out that links back to some of the challenges that you talk about. Before I get started with this one, I just want to shout out and just mention the fact that I've put together recently a regular newsletter called The X Factor, which is all about the mental game, the psychological game, and the different challenges that footballers face. So there's stuff there for footballers, for soccer players, for coaches, and for parents too. So I'd encourage you to please sign up to it. There's a lot of good stuff there, all free content, be it podcasts, blogs, videos, links to other people's advice. All the detail are in the show notes. As time goes by, it's going to get bigger and bigger. I've alluded to the fact that I've got a new venture where I'm dipping solely into the football field. You'll find there's a new website called the Football Psychology Hub. Will follow in the new year. Anyway, let's get back to episode 10. So I've talked a bit about expectations and process goals in the past, and I'm going to build on this. Often, when you're watching matches as a spectator, as a coach, one of the things I notice is players can take their foot off the pedal when their team goes 2 or 3-0 up. They go into protect mode. Individually, one player goes into protect mode, they look over their shoulder, and another one does, and another, and before you know it, the whole team has backed off that little bit. Maybe the high line as a defence has dropped, and then what happens is they begin to try to hold on to the score, rather than just simply playing the way that they were, or attacking. The attacking player maybe doesn't take as many risks. So what goes on in their minds, mentally, do you think? Personally, I think part of it comes down to attention and focus. They're flitting between the past and the future. So, in the past, yeah, we've scored 3 goals. Maybe you're that guy or girl who set up 1 or 2 goals, or you've scored. So there's that excitement there to a degree. Or you might be in the future. You're thinking about the game at the weekend, or 3 or 4 days' time. So you decide to maybe preserve some energy. Or you might be thinking about the celebrations after the game, for that matter. Either way, you're not in the present moment. So how do we address this? Well, let's think about expectations again. What is your expectation for yourself when your team goes 3-0 up? Have you even thought about that? So are you expecting? Let's think that you've got a pen and paper out. You're writing down the words, I expect it's going to be an easy afternoon. So what you're doing there is you're in the future, aren't you? You're trying to predict what the outcome, what the scoreline's going to be. Maybe you're in judgment mode too. You're judging yourself and your team against your opponents, thinking you're far much better than them. That's your ego getting in the way though, isn't it, really? So how do we change this? How do we just throw away emotion, throw away ego? Let's think about processes. So process goals. And, you guessed it, key ingredients. The word that springs to mind for me is intensity. It's the intensity in your focus, depending on what position that you play in. It's the intensity of your actions. Other key words. We've got relentless. We've got determined. We've got dominant. So, if you set yourself a process goal around any of these areas there, you're not going to go too far wrong, are you? Really? And then if you think about the messages from the previous episode and making your opponent's life very, very difficult, you're going to have a real champion's mindset, aren't you? When you look at some of the great teams, when they're 3-0 up, they don't just take their foot off the pedal, do they? You might see some crazy scorelines, 6, 7, 8, 9-0 even. That's the mindset that would be taking. And then imagine afterwards. Imagine the next time you play this opponent. You've already started 1-0 up, haven't you? So to sum up, as I've alluded in previous episodes, identifying your expectations, creating self-awareness is vital if you want to perform freely, if you want to perform with confidence on a consistent basis. So really, what I've done now is showed you a method here. It's a method you can carry on in matches, in training sessions. We've discussed a few different scenarios, from the number 9 and the centre forward in the previous episode to now the person who's playing against a big team. So yeah, identify those expectations, those little chinks in your armoury there, the expectations that hinder your performance. Then set yourself process goals moving forwards. What I've noticed from my high achieving clients is that they're more diligent with the mental game. They don't just let things happen. So it doesn't just have to be matches, it can be training sessions too. Seek to rate yourself. Seek to challenge yourself. Seek to understand expectations that hold you back. Turn them into process goals. There's so many aspects of football. You'll never ever perfect it, but you can always get better. It's some of those areas that you can improve upon. It's human nature to get comfortable, to relax. So this method can shift that. It can help you get into a first team. It can help you get on side with a coach. It can help you earn the respect of new teammates. It can help you get a pay rise. It can help you get a trial. So I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed these series of 10 episodes. As I mentioned earlier, please do get in touch to let me know about some of the challenges that you face and what you'd like me to talk about come the new year. Also, get yourself signed up to the X Factor newsletter. It's going out on a regular basis. There'll be lots of tips and tricks that I'll be sharing in the coming months until the next series, which will come out possibly towards the end of January, come early February, depending on how my diary works. Stay tuned to the interview podcasts, which will still be coming out on a Friday. I hope you have a fantastic day ahead.